Hello, I'm Helen from Journal with Purpose and welcome to my latest YouTube video. Today I'm going to be doing a little bit of journaling inside my standard size traveller's notebook insert. This is actually the last spread I'm going to complete in this journal because it's just about full now. This one's actually from Good Impressions. It's got Tomo River paper in it, but I've already got my next insert lined up and I've just gone for a Traveller's Company insert next time. I decided I'd like to go for a little bit of watercolour on here, so I've actually sketched out in pencil a daisy on my page. I'm not sure how well that will pick up on camera. But because the daisy's petals are going to be in white, I actually want to start off by doing a blue background. So I'm going to be using these paints, which are the Prima Marketing Tropical set. And the paintbrushes that I'm using are a size 4 and 6 from Jackson's Art. So I'm going to mix that a bit of the blue paint up first of all. I'm going to just use that as a background. If I've not added a background around my daisy, other ways that I've done it before are just by making a slightly greyish mix for the petals so that they stand out on white paper. Okay, that should do me for now. So I'm just going to try and get in reasonably tight on the details around those petals. And I will be adding some detail into those petals later on. I just wanted to get that background added first of all. It's been a little while, I think, since I've used watercolour in this insert, but it holds up to it so well. And I've been really busy, you might well have seen, with course creation and things like that. So I've been sharing lots of flip throughs, but not all that many actual process videos on YouTube. I have still been on Patreon, but so I'm pleased to have a bit of time to actually be able to share a proper journaling video with you today. So I'm just going to carry on for a few minutes now, just adding that paint all the way around the daisy's petals. I've now given that a really quick dry, and I'm going to finish off by adding some yellow right into the centre of the daisy and then add some green to the stem. I just think daisies are such pretty flowers. I absolutely love being able to include all sorts of different florals in my journals. I think this daisy was also one of the tutorials I shared over on Patreon. I try and share, or I do share a tutorial every month, like a PDF, often of different florals. I just think it's really lovely if we can represent in our journals some of what we are seeing in nature around us. Okay, now I've got that stem done, I'm going to get that layer dried off as well. For adding some detail to my daisy, I'm going to use the Derwent Chromaflow pencils. I could do it in kind of bold black pen detail, but I just wanted something a little bit softer. So I'm going to start off with a brown colour, just for adding some little lines inside the head of the daisy. Just feels like such a happy flower, and love having those blues and yellows. Really kind of joyful combination. And then I'm going to use, I think, a black pencil. I'm just going to test it on another piece of paper against a grey. Well, actually, I'm quite liking this grey, the platinum. I'll see how well it shows up. So I'm kind of just adding a little bit of shading around those petals. But I also want some details in them as well. Actually, I think that's going to work really nicely. So just a light grey pencil. And it adds a little bit of definition then to the outside of the petal shapes. And then I'll add a little bit more of the shading every time two of the petals are actually touching or overlapping each other. And it's just to give it a little bit more depth. So I'm going to carry on now doing that around the rest of the flower shape. So I've now finished that daisy and I'm really pleased with how it's looking. I'm going to add a strip of washi tape along the right hand page, and this one's got blues and yellows on, so ties in beautifully with the other side. And this tape came from London Gifties. I'm just going to trim those corners off. I'm now going to add the date and a quote on my page, and for this I'm using a Tombow Fudenosuke brush pen with a firm nib, which is one of my favourites. And you'll see from the date that I've probably filmed this quite a long way ahead of when I'm going to be sharing it. I've just been trying to get ahead with a few things because I've got some other projects that I'm working on at the moment. Before I add my journal writing, I want to just add a little bit more decoration to break up this right hand page. I'm going to be using my stencil from my product range called Star Lilyfield. And I'm going to use two different coloured distress inks. I've got Squeezed Lemonade and Shaded Lilac. So I think I'm going to go for the yellow at the top. And I just want to have it kind of covering that corner. So I'm using an ink blending tool for this. I thought it'd be nice to have just a little bit of something else on this page. I really enjoy kind of tying in different colours together. Okay, I really like how that looks. So I'm now going to do exactly the same, but with the Shaded Lilac ink along the bottom. I've been journaling for so long now, but I still find if the paper's almost too white, it can still be a little bit intimidating to write on. So I nearly always add decorations. Sometimes at the weekend I'll go through a few of my different journals and pre-decorate some pages because it really encourages me then to write in them. I just find them then really inviting. Okay, I love that. They're not exactly the same colours, but it still gives you a hint of both coming across from both of the sides. And so I'm now going to just spend a few minutes adding my journal writing. I'm just going to be jotting down a few thoughts about things that are happening in my life at the moment. For my writing, I'm going to be using a black Muji gel pen. That is my journal pages now all complete. I really hope you've enjoyed joining me for this quick journaling session, and I hope you're doing well. As always, I want to say a massive thank you to everybody who's joined me over on Patreon. Thank you again for being here, and I look forward to speaking with you really soon in my next video.